bar model problems are a little more challenging this week, but if you just go about them in a very systematic way, I think you will find that they're not too difficult. Let's look at the first one. The ratio of the number of Annie's football cards to the number of Ben's football cards is 4 to 7. If Annie gives 1/8 of her football cards to Ben, what will be the new ratio of the number of Annie's football cards to the number of Ben's football cards? Okay, our two quantities that we're comparing in a ratio here is Annie's cards to Ben's cards. So we'll label our two bars Annie's football cards and Ben's football cards. Okay, so Annie's cards to Ben's cards is in a 4 to 7 ratio. Okay, my parts are not super equal here, but hopefully you can get the picture. So we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Annie gives 1/8 of her football cards to Ben. So now, let's just think about this logically. Annie's football cards are represented by 4 parts, but we want to give 1/8 of them away. So we need to switch this into eighths, not fourths. So we separate each of the parts into 2 parts. So now, and if we do that with Annie's football cards, we want to do it with Ben's so that we're working with equal parts. Now Annie gives 1/8 of her cards to Ben. So 1/8 would be one of these 8 parts, say that one, and she gives it to Ben. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it on to Ben's, like that. Now the question is, what is the new ratio of the number of Annie's football cards to the number of Ben's football cards? So now let's look at our new number of parts here. So we're leaving off that one because she gave it away. So Annie has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. And then Ben, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Which makes sense because originally it was 4 to 7. We split them in half, so this became 14, and we added 1 part from Annie to make 15. So the new ratio from Annie's to Ben's cards would be 7 to 15. So then you write your sentence. The new ratio of, it's Annie's to Ben's, of Annie's cards to Ben's cards is 7 to 15. And that is in simplest form because there is no common factor of 7 and 15. So that's our final answer. If it could be simplified, it would be best to simplify it. So go ahead and pause the video and work on the second question, and then come back and we'll go over it. Alright, this second question is very similar to the first, so hopefully you were able to figure it out. Let's go over it. The ratio of the number of Mark's jelly beans to the number of Amy's jelly beans is 3 to 7. If Mark gives 1/6 of his jelly beans to Amy, what will be the new ratio of the number of Mark's jelly beans to the number of Amy's jelly beans? Alright, let's see if I can draw my bars better this time. So we have Mark's jelly beans and Amy's jelly beans. Okay, the ratio is 3 to 7. So 3 is Mark. So it's a ratio of Mark's to Amy's. So 3 to 7. All right, let's see if I can draw this. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. Good. Okay, so Mark gives 1/6 of his jelly beans to Amy. So again, Mark's jelly beans right now are in 3 parts. The quantity is represented by 3 parts, but we want to give away 1/6 of his total jelly beans, so we need to split it into 6. So if we take each of those thirds and break them in half, we end up with 6. So again, if we do that, we need to also do that to Amy's jelly beans, because we want to always be working with equal parts that can be compared. Okay, now Mark gives 1/6. So again, 1/6 would be one of these sections, and he gives that 1/6 to Amy. So then we add it on to Amy's jelly beans. And the question, what is the new ratio of the number of Mark's jelly beans to Amy's? So now we just count the parts. Again, this one has gone away. So Mark has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. To Amy's, how many parts? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 parts. And again, I probably wouldn't have had to count it like that because Amy had 7 parts to begin with. We split them in half, 14, added 1 part from Mark's, 15. So now we have a ratio of 5 to 15. For Mark's 5 jelly beans, Amy would have 15. For every 5 jelly beans that Mark has, Amy has 15. Now you might notice here that we can simplify this ratio because both terms have a common factor of 5. So if we divide by 5, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So the ratio becomes 1 to 3. And you could see if we combine every 5 up here, like combine these 5 into 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this becomes 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this becomes 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we combine every 5 to make a bigger part, we get that ratio of 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 1 to 3. The new ratio of Mark's jelly beans to Amy's jelly beans is 1 to 3. So go ahead and try the next question on your own, and we'll go over it in class.